How's it going, everyone? It's Sam. I want to come with a little video today because if you don't know, NAT or Nordic American Tanker released their next dividend amount. So I'm going to be talking about that, talking about what I think about it and what it signals going forward, whether that changes when I'm buying or selling, and just talk to you a little bit more about the stock and about some other tanker stocks in the space. So first of all, I want to say thank you guys for watching. My channel's growing pretty significantly right now, and I'm trying to doing more tanker stock videos because that's what a lot of people like versus just the normal personal finance. I actually had a totally different video already recorded and edited just to release it today, but once this came out, I had to tell you about it. I know a lot of people will be asking about it. So I appreciate you guys watching. Please leave a like and comment below what you think about this dividend and what you're going to do going forward. And I appreciate it. So I'll just get right into it. So Nordic American Tanker released this to the shareholders and investors. Dividend is a priority for NAT. On March 24, 2020, we declared the dividend for the first quarter of 2020 to 14 cents per share, with the record date Monday, May 26, 2020, and payment date June 5, 2020. In view of the solid position of this company and the prospects as explained in our first quarter report 2 days ago, the board has decided to declare the dividend for the second quarter of 2020 to 20 cents to be paid on Friday, September 4 to shareholders on record August 28. This is a 42% increase from the dividend that was declared for the first quarter of 2020. With this quarterly dividend of 20 cents for the second quarter of 2020, the accumulated declared cash dividend for the first two quarters of 2020 is 34 cents. This amount of 34 cents is paid to shareholders over a period of less than 4 months. Our earnings report for the second quarter of 2020 will be published Monday, August 17, 2020, before NYSE opening. So they are declaring a 20-cent dividend. They had already declared a 14-cent dividend for the first quarter. So this is a pretty significant bump, but honestly, it's less than I thought they would move it to. And, part of that might just be they're not done with the quarter. We're only halfway through the second quarter, honestly. So in my mind, I view it as it's less than it should or could be. But they're declaring it so early. Some companies like Vanguard will declare it for the first quarter maybe on March 11 or something, and then they'll have the ex-dividend date the next day or that day, and then they'll just pay it out the next day. So they're declaring it really early for the second quarter because we're not even through the second quarter yet. Just looking at their price today, they have gone up. So they had dropped yesterday to $4.50, and a lot of people were confused about that because they had announced earnings. They beat revenue, they beat earnings per share, and the stock just continued to drop from about $5. So I actually bought in yesterday, but I was looking at buying more if it dropped more, but it seems like people have a good reaction to it today, or just maybe the market's just up in general. The other two stocks that I look at, which are DHT and STNG, are both up on the day too. So it's probably not necessarily the dividend that was declared, but it's just the market in general. And, you can see it's dropped about 10% just over the last few days. Now, I do envision higher dividends in the future because this is really the quarter that they're earning the most money. So if they have the 20 cents per share already on hand right now, which maybe they don't, maybe they're assuming future earnings for the rest of this quarter, but if they have it right now, that means that they have a lot of time to earn before they need the money for the next dividend, the one that they haven't declared yet. So my vision and my goal for the stock is still the same. I want to sell out when it goes high or buy more when it goes low still, because I think they have a lot of runway. They're going to earn a lot throughout the rest of the year. Their expectations are still high for the rest of the year. So I don't envision selling this, super soon. That could change depending on a variety of factors, mostly the price though, and if there are any negative reports about, or any really positive reports about future earnings coming out. If for some reason the contango increases and there's a lot more oil being produced. I'll buy more, most likely, of NAT and DHT and STNG. But one thing that I do think is interesting is if you go over to their declarations, they recorded 2 dividends on February 18 and then March 18. So they declared the one from last year, Q4, on February 18, and then they declared the Q1 dividend a month later. And I brought this up in a past video of mine, but now just 2 months later, they're declaring the next dividend. So within 3 months, they declared 3 dividends. So of course they're being paid every 3 months, but the fact that they have that amount of cash and earnings and stability that they are declaring 3 sets of dividends in 3 months, that is a lot to bank on unless you already have the cash there. I think that would be really dumb to assume future earnings for such a wide period of time. Now, I think the first dividend there was declared, and it was cash that they already had because it was from February and it was from Q4 earnings. So they already had the cash then. Then they saw that there is an uptick in tanker usage, so they declared the next dividend right then. And then just a few weeks later, the stock jumped up in price and they had a little bit of a media presence. It got in the limelight. And now they feel like maybe after the stock dropped a little bit, they wanted to declare this dividend to put it back on the right track. So, looking forward, I think that they're going to have good, solid dividends in the future. I was predicting maybe 0.28, so just a 100% increase from their last dividend. But I think if they had waited maybe a month or 2 more, they would get that. Now, I think that there are better solutions if you're looking for a stock that is going to perform well in the oil tanker space for the foreseeable future. And the stock that I was looking at and I bought yesterday, and I made a video on it. If you didn't check it out, you should definitely check it out. It's STNG. They are at like 5-year lows, if not longer. They dropped a little bit more right before they picked up when all the oil tanker stocks picked up, but they are at $16 now. They were at $39 just at the beginning of the year. So they've dropped significantly, mostly because they have large amounts of debt, but they're earning so much right now, they're going to be able to pay off a lot of that debt, or they also refinance some of it to push it out longer to make it easier to pay. So they have one of the largest fleets in the world too. So they have over 100 different ships compared to NAT that just has 23. So I think that they're in a really good position if you're looking at a different oil tanker stock that maybe isn't as up and down as NAT and is more stable. And they can earn more than NAT because of all those ships. But take a look at that one. Let me know what you think below. I appreciate you guys watching. Hopefully this was a good video for you because I did want to make it pretty quickly just because I know that a lot of people have questions on what people think about the dividend and what I think about the dividend. So, let me know your thoughts below too, and please subscribe if you haven't subscribed, and I will see you in the next video. Thanks.